This time I'm gonna go with poison or drug. I don't know how he poisoned me through a ring. Like, wait, are you telling me his ring is accustomed to one of those like gun rings, right? The rings that have, or like the watches that have like small, what is that? A fucking, what are those thing called? A fucking dart, or like small dart with poison in it. Are you serious? These are ancient times. Who's making some complex, these complex mechanisms? That's way too small into a fucking ring. Like, I've heard of poison rings, but they're used up close and personal, not this far away. But okay, poison or a drug. You turn to the wall and suck hard on your bleeding forearm. The copper taste of your blood quickly transforms into tingling, then numbness. You spit behind the statue nearby, a partial mouthful of blood splattering on the mirror. You dribble down onto the floor. You lean against the mirror to support your weakening muscles, but also to cover the mess you made. Weakly, you bring your arm to your mouth and suck again. I knew it was poison, you think. Do not make a fool of yourself. Stand up, whispers Kriya. She leans around. She leans around you to see your face. You spit more of your blood, but it mostly just dribbles down your chin. What is wrong with you? She asks urgently. Poison, you whisper. The doppelganger stabbed. Oh, was he that close? I thought he was that far away. Why? I thought he was far away. Was he that close to just stab us with a fucking ring? I thought it was far away. That's why I said this. That it might be another god or something. Poison, yeah, the doppelganger stabbed me with. Your words falter as your ears begin to ring and your vision starts to dim. Kriya reaches around you to better support your weight. She bites her lower lip and stares at you for a moment. She twists around. You, she says. Presently, you find yourself between Kriya and a man, one of your arms draped around each other. Try to walk with their help, but they mostly drag you. Sun sickness is Kriya to the man. He is not accustomed to the surface world. He needs to rest somewhere dark. Yes, miss, says the man next to you. His voice tight with the exertion of carrying you. Through blurry eyes, the man is wearing blue tunic of a servant of the house. Servant of the house, okay. Agra, save me, you say in your mind. As a priest of Or, help me heal this affliction. Now you accept the mantle of priest, says Agra with amusement in a tone convenient. Would you have a champion die, you say? Our god is not a healing god. Lucky for you, I doubt the poison is lethal, says Agra. If your soul was slipping away, I would know. You're led down a stairway. Yeah, one life. It's almost slipping away. You're led down a stairway. I could probably die from a fucking like little cut or stab. You're led down a stairway and soon find yourself in what might be servant's quarter with bare stone walls. They set you down on a cot. Quickly blow out the lamp, orders Kriya. Soon the light is gone. It feels good. You can still see. In fact, you can see better than before. Now you can clearly make out the servant. He's a young man, his eyes twitching, as if being alone in the company of a dark elf weren't enough. Now he's plunged into darkness. He turns his head and fixes on the weak offering of light from the open doorway. Now leave us, orders Kriya. Yes, the servant says, bowing his head in Kriya's direction. He then puts his hand out in front of him, stumbles through the doorway. Close the door on your way out, says Kriya. Now with the two of you left alone in the dark, Kriya's face is clearer than ever, and she is not happy. Are you absolutely mad? She whispers fiercely. What would possess you to touch that woman's belly? I wanted to pay my respects from the Underdark, you say. Do you think this is a joke? We are trying to blend in, not become the chief entertainment. She twists her mouth and looks at you carefully for a long second. You do realize that you're not actually a dark elf, correct? You nod. Your muscles are weak and you barely manage to gesture. Kriya steps closer to you, looking down at you on the hunk, her eyes straight to your chest, then back to your face. I do not believe you. Tell me the real reason. Why did you do that, and what language that was? It was gibberish, you say. Wanted to mock the priest for their earliest ceremony. I think I got a few laughs. Kriya folds her arms. Do you think this explanation restores my confidence in you? Let us discuss this later. I think the impostor poisoned me, stuck me with a needle hidden in her finger. Yeah, I thought in her finger. What? I thought Bonebrow fucking stabbed me with a fucking ring. I'm gonna have to read this again when I'm going through these choices again next time, because I thought Bonebrow from a distance launched some sort of dart with poison on it from his ring, but now you're telling me the ring, whoever poisoned me was close and stabbed me, and it's not even Bonebrow, it's a her. What the fuck? What? How did I miss all that? Like I didn't even see that shit. Maybe I just skipped it in my mind or something. I have no fucking clue. Whatever. Let me just move on forward. I will read it when I do the best choices of the chapter. I think the imposter poisoned me, stuck me with a needle hidden in a finger, you say. Probably. Just something to subdue you, says Kriya. Otherwise you would have already been dead. I would have already been dead, considering I don't have much life. What do you know about poisons? You say, a voice breaking. Shh. Kriya hisses. Keep your voice down. The servant's likely right outside the door, or worse, has gone to fetch someone. Good thing he was at hand, or you'd be sprawling out on the floor of the great hall right now. You mean in a hall full of priests, most of which could heal me? If I could pick a place to be poisoned, that would be it, you say. A priest that infused you with his divine power would detect your magical disguise, and we would be revealed, says Kriya. Do not go to a priest. That's right. Work through the poison. I shall aid you, says Egra. That is a lie. You're not helping me. You blurt out in your panic. What? That is a lie. You're not helping me. You blurt out in your panic. Oh, we're talking to Egra. Kriya's eyebrows raise slightly at your inadvertent words. She tilts her head. Remember, you told the tale of how the Thorgoth priestess took you and Bonebra alive in order to impersonate you. The priestesses probably all carry drugs to immobilize their prey. The drug will wear off. Indeed, you appear to be speaking a little better. The worst has passed. It is easy for one to posit theories when it is not their life in the balance. You say, nonetheless, if we seek aid, you will certainly be found out, and the best we can hope is to be thrown into the dungeon, says Kriya. As if I have a choice, you think. I can barely move. Kriya begins to pace and is quiet for a few long seconds before she thinks. I will seek out Kalak. He will understand why we did what we did. I will tell him of the imposter. That's not a good idea, because he will ask why do we even know transfiguration? Like, how did we do the transfiguration? And that's not going to end well. I don't know what his idea about gods is, but still. I will seek out Kalak. He will understand why we did what we did. I will tell him of the imposter, and if you truly need healing, he will know how to do it without involving any dogmatic priest. Why do you say I? You're not leaving me here paralyzed and helpless, are you? You have only yourself to blame for this, says Kriya, looking down at you, shaking her head. After that ludicrous display in the entrance hall, I question what you might do if you met Kalak. Perhaps you will assault him. No, of course not, you say. Truly? It was only minutes ago. I would not have guessed that you would run up and rub the belly of a noblewoman who could order your execution with a nod of her head, says Kriya. You stammered. She was sporting, though. I knew she would be. I'm a fine judge of character, and by that measure, my actions were not insane but bold. Sometimes stodgy ceremonies need a little punch to keep everyone paying attention, and I wouldn't be surprised if I received a thanks later for Lady Wellington herself. That was a violation, says Kriya. Do not lecture me on violations and taking liberties, you say. That is true. Kriya throws her hand up. It does not matter, I'm wasting time. She takes a step towards the door and then stops. Slowly, she turns around and regards you. You really cannot move, she asks. Barely, you say. You muster strength and turn your head on the cot so you can look directly at her. Her eyes go to your chest. I fear that the drug might make breathing difficult, a danger heightened further by the tight leather tunic. I shall loosen it before I leave you. She walks over, leans down, unbuckles one of the leather straps holding your vest together. No need, my breathing is fine, you say. She ignores you as she unclasps the buckle and goes to work on the next one. It might be the enchantment she put on you earlier this morning, but her touch is rather pleasant. You just wish you could move your limbs. You feel so vulnerable. She undoes the second buckle, the amulet, you realize. She rips your tunic open. She stares down at your hairless, dark, elven skin. Her lips twist, and then she frowns. Her hands descend slowly towards your body. You're so weak. You do not think you can move. What do you do? Use command spell. That's probably not a good idea. But I think there's no way. I think she is doing this on purpose. Yeah, she asked me if I can move or not. I think I'm gonna actually use a command spell. This might be the only way to keep her away. Evansel, in your experience, the command spell can only be a single word. A few come to your mind. What do you choose? Definitely not kiss. Fuck this bitch. Leave. Leave. You command as the power washes out of you. Kriya's eyes flutter for a moment, then she stands up. Now that I've seen Wait. I thought the command spell just forces the body to do stuff. I didn't think um, the command spell will actually take over her mind and just make her feel like she actually wants to leave. So this is kind of like a bewitchment as well, in a different manner, I suppose. Leave, you command as the power washes out of you. Kriya's eyes flutter for a moment and then she stands up. Now that I've seen to your well-being, you had best pray for mine. If I do not return, it is because I have been beheaded for associating with you. She quickly leaves, slamming the door. Bewitched the witch, you think, with some sense of satisfaction. A prudent, if not entertaining, command, says Egra. A command is more likely to be followed, even by a strong mind, when it is close to their intention. She obviously was going to leave eventually, anyway. Okay. So there might be even better option here around here, but we'll see. Gods. I thought Kriya was going to find the amulet, you say to Egra. As a wizard, she might have known it was magical. Maybe she would have taken it. Perhaps if she saw it, replies Egra. I hid it from her. Really? How? You ask. A minor illusion, says Egra. I've recently learned to make things invisible if it pleases me. Does that mean you enjoy my company, Egra? You whisper into the dark room. Am I the greatest champion you've ever had? If I wish to find a new champion, I will not make the transition in a castle full of priests, says Egra. Even I, daughter of Levity, can be pragmatic at times. Do not pretend that you do not love me. Do not pretend that you do not love me. Oh, that's funny. You whisper. Sooner or later, all women of taste develop a taste for rooster. Egra chuckles in your mind. Despite being alone and mostly paralyzed, the darkness is actually quite pleasant. You can see clearly. There are no real colors, just intricacies of darkness and light. You wonder if it's just that you're more sensitive to what light there is filtering through the cracks in the door. What? Why did I read it like that? You wonder if it's just that you're more sensitive to what light there is filtering through the cracks in the door. You don't think so. Most of the Underdark, the realm of the dark elves, is pitch black. But they live in absolute pitch black? There's no way, because their eyes don't emit light, you know. There has to be some manner of light to be able to see. So until as they're using magic to see, I think there has to be some light underground. Chuckle when you imagine one of the poor servants coming back to their chamber to have a rest, only to find a leather-clad dark elf laying in their bed. Did I miss something? No. Okay. You consider moving your limbs. With some time and effort, you manage to close your vest, although you cannot manage to work the buckles to secure it shut. While a modest achievement, it seems like progress. Perhaps the drug is wearing off. Far off, you can hear the chorus of voices. The party continues. Was it worth us taking the risk we did? You ask Egra in your mind. Does your father now hold sway over the soul of the child? He's a boy, says Egra. Our communion was brief, yet I think I made a good impression. If nothing else, I expect the boy will grow into a man with a sense of humor. I do not think the nobility of this land holds sense of humor as the highest urgency. Indeed, it would surprise me if a future noble openly took your father over as his patron, you say. Times can change as the wheel turns, and my father loves nothing more than surprises, says Egra. This chapter is not ending. Fucking hell. Soft footsteps are coming. The door opens, allowing in light from the outside. Now in the doorway stands that woman you spotted earlier, the one in the black dress. She has a nearly full bottle of wine in one hand. She's looking right at you. I do not like the light. Shut the door, you say. Steps into the room, shuts the door, returning the blessed darkness. Her hand is on the handle. I thought I might find you here, she says, her words slurred. I thought since you are missing the party, I'd bring the party to you. Drunk, you wonder. How did you find me, you ask. Followed you, she says as she saunters towards you, her high heels clacking on the stone, her hips swaying. Now is not a good time for conversation and libations, you say. I'm recovering from a sickness brought on by your cursed son. No need for conversations, he says, her mouth turning into a wicked grin. She now stands over you, looking into your eyes. A drink? I do not drink wretched human wine, you say. How can you see me in the dark? I have many talents, particularly in the dark, she says, leaning down. Gods, you have flawless skin. Even I envy it. Can no woman leave me alone when I'm paralyzed? Egra laughs in your mind. Thank you, you say. The Underdark is very easy on one's complexion. Is it true the dark elves are so very, very wicked? She licks her lips as she slowly leans closer. She fancies the bad sort, says Egra. She is trouble. Is she trouble? Why? Trouble indeed, and not even drunk. Even with your keen Elvis sense of smell, you detect no alcohol. More than that, there is clarity in her eyes. She's pretending. Time for you to leave, you hiss. You and I shall play later. You turn your head from her and will your arm to cover your face, but your arm only flops over the side of the bed. Her fingers caress your cheek and warmthness spreads into you, clouding your mind. Before you know it, you're facing her again. She's smiling. Is she a witch or something? Is she a wizard again? In an attempt to delay whatever dark plan she has, you say, "What is your name?" Her smile widens, showing flawless white teeth. Azazel. Wait, no, it can't be. No, it's Azizela, okay. Fucking hell, I was like, holy shit, I killed Azazel last time. There's no way he showed up. His name was Azazel, right? The one demon thingy? Yeah. A sense of dread creeping up. You try to keep the conversation going. You want to tell her that she has a beautiful and unusual name. Where did she get a name like that? Unfortunately, you can no longer bring yourself to speak. It's an enchantment. You have felt this sort of thing before with Kriya. With all this practice, you ought to be getting better at resisting these type of spells. Maybe you enjoy them too much to resist, says Agra in your mind. Azazel extends her pink tongue out slightly and lightly licks your lower lip. You shudder with pleasure. Ugh, not this again, says Agra. Azazel pauses over for a moment, her eyes boring into your own. Although her body and face is that of a young woman, there is something ancient deep in her eyes. She kisses you. At first you feel your soul rising up, joyful and free. Then there comes an overwhelming weight crushing down. Another consciousness is squirming into your mind. Agra is shouting in a strange language as she thrashes in your psyche. You want to scream in pain, but you can't. Am I in pain? I mean, I should be. Whoosh, there's a flash of green light. Azazel lies on the floor, groaning as though in pain. She's covered in patches of green, flickering flame. Pain shoots through your muscle, making you convulse. The green flames are on you too. You recognize your clothing. It was the clothing Kriya gave you in the inn before your transformation into dark elves. Evidently, the effect of the poison are gone because you can control your limbs again. You pat out the green flames as you run from the room. Outside in the hall, you shut the door behind you and take stock of your body, back to your old self. The green flames do not appear to have harmed you. Even your clothes are undamaged. Gods, I left the woman behind, you think. Enchantress or not, you don't feel right leaving her behind. Leaving her like that. You turn and grab the doorknob. Not a woman, a demon, says Agra. Run. Is it a vampire? It shouldn't be. Wait, every time a demon rides someone, right? Okay, yeah. I got rogue, obviously. That was shit. By the way, every time a demon rides someone, they become a vampire, right? There's no other possibility as far as I know. Every time I've seen a demon get into someone, they immediately become a vampire. So this is interesting. Is it a demon manifested into the real world without a body? I've never heard of that, but that could be possible because otherwise we would see that she's a vampire. Maybe she's hiding her fangs or something. But we shall see. See, the morale only gives you points. It essentially is for points and favor. Everything is for points, I suppose. Death does not have a multiplier, and then we have 3 deaths, so it's 0 multiplier. Maybe we'd get multiplier if we didn't have any deaths, maybe. Anyway, let's move on to the best choices of this chapter.